Hey there, Amanda from the Happy Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own homemade first aid salve to have at your disposal for you and your family when there's bug bites, bee stings, wounds, cuts, without having to purchase too many things, right? This is just a handful of ingredients. So this is the first aid salve that we will be making. I made this one last year. I make it about once a year, and I've been doing this for a few years now, and it works great. So you can see it's kind of got that greenish color, and that is due to the plantain leaf. So now that you know what we're making, let me explain what is in it, and then we'll actually go through and make it. So the main medicinal ingredient is going to be the organic dried plantain leaf. You can find this online. You can find it at a local herbal store. It's pretty readily available, and honestly, plantain is considered something that is a weed, and it grows most places. So if you are good at identifying those types of things, then maybe try that out. Otherwise, go buy yourself some organic dried plantain leaf. And so you saw before I opened this video what I did last night, and that was 12 hours ago. And so what I took was a bunch of oils, and I'll explain that in a sec, and I infused my oils with the plantain leaf over a 12-hour period. Now, I had set it on top of my dehydrator so that it would warm the oils and extract as much as possible of those properties from the plantain into the oil. Now, and I just set it on top, right? I turned the dehydrator off before I started filming so you could hear me okay. But it's been soaking in the oil for about 12 hours now. So number one was the plantain leaf. Plantain is known for so many wound healing properties. It's anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial a bit, and just, yeah, there are people that would take plantain leaf, break it up or crush it up and just put it right on a wound, like as a poultice. It's just very great for wounds. So that is our number one medicinal ingredient within our first aid salve. And then the next thing would be the oils. So I'm soaking it in the oils, right? This is where you can get fancy if you want, but you don't have to. So I used 4 different oils. You do not need to do that. So coconut oil, organic virgin coconut oil is the main oil that I did use the most of. And that's pretty readily available in most kitchens. And so it was like a half an ounce of plantain leaf of half a cup of oils. So I took some coconut oil, and then I used almond oil, jojoba oil, and vitamin E oil. So you do not need to go buy all of these things. But each of these ingredients have really great moisturizing, skin nourishing, anti-inflammatory properties, right? So they're all really good for all salve. And then today, once we actually start putting this back together into this type of form, we're gonna add tea tree oil. It's like a tea tree essential oil. That is also very good for antimicrobial, antibacterial, and beeswax, home rendered beeswax, mind you, because when you have all your oils at a room temperature, they can be pretty liquidy, right? And so the beeswax actually helps firm up your salve a bit, and it creates a nice barrier, right? If you put wax on your skin, it creates that barrier to keep other things out. Before we get started with putting this together, I wanted to show you what this looks like. So here is our infused oils with the plantain leaf. You can see that. Like I said, I had put this on my dehydrator over a 12-hour period just to warm it up. Now, you may not have a dehydrator, you may not have that kind of ability to do that, and that's okay. You don't have to. If you would rather do this on the stove, or that's your option, then do that. So I would do the same exact thing, right? I would take a half an ounce of the dried plantain leaf with a half a cup of your desired oil combination, and I would put it in a small saucepan on very low heat. And I would keep it there from 30 to 60 minutes and just let the oils infuse that way. So you can do that. We need to melt our beeswax. I have it in a glass measuring cup here, and beeswax at room temperature is really hard. So I broke it into as small pieces as I could right now. I could get it smaller, but I'm just gonna throw it in the microwave and get this melted. While that's in the microwave, I want to explain the oils that I used. The almond oil, the vitamin E oil, the jojoba oil, and the coconut oil. So you do not need to go buy all of these types of oils. Use what you have, right? So hopefully you have some coconut oil in your kitchen, because that is a really good start with a base. You can also use olive oil if you have some olive oil, which most people do. If you wanted to splurge and get one of these for some good nourishing properties, I would actually go with the vitamin E oil. And you do not need to get a large jar or large bottle, right? And you want to keep it in the fridge. And this is something that can be used for multiple things. So if you just wanted to do a coconut oil, olive oil, vitamin E, you could. If you didn't want to do this, that is okay too. You can just do coconut oil and olive oil, right? The beeswax is what helps firm it up. All right, let me go check it. Nope, it needed longer time. So hopefully that eases your mind with the oils. I don't want you to go spend a lot of money on, fancy oils. I have these because there's a lot of different things that I make for our family in our home. But coconut oil, olive oil, and the beeswax would be perfectly fine. The other thing we're using, remember, is the tea tree. So we're gonna, once that's melted, we're gonna strain this out into the beeswax, add some tea tree oil, stir it up, and pour it in the tins. It's that easy. This doesn't take any time at all. The longest part is really just infusing the oils, which again, you can do on your stove while you're in the kitchen doing something else. Beeswax has been in for about 2 minutes. It's not fully melted yet. There's still some solids, but it's getting there. Now my glass cup is very hot, so do this with glass and not plastic. So you can find beeswax from local beekeepers. You can find it online. You might be able to find it in some local kind of small stores. Okay, so our wax is melted. You can see that. Beautiful color. It's not very much. And all I'm gonna do is sift out the plantain and the oil. So we use this first aid salve for all bug bites, right? If we got bug bites, bee stings, cuts, small wounds, and it really does help, guys. I know you're probably skeptical, but if you are unfamiliar or just, not as open to understanding the medicinal healing properties of plants, then I invite you, friend, to open your heart and open your mind, because it works. I love having this on hand for our family. It's almost like a homemade Neosporin, right? Everyone knows Neosporin. Well, this is a much more economical and natural way to achieve that same effect. So I'm just trying to push as much of the oil through. And the recipe will be down in the show notes. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna get a clean spoon to stir this around. Yeah, it's very hot, so I'm just gonna stir it up. And I am going to add in my tea tree oil. I'm just going to do about maybe 10 drops. Make sure my beeswax is still very liquid. Okay, and that's it. It smells so good, by the way, guys. It really does. So now we just poured in our little containers. I bought these on Amazon. They come in a sleeve. So you could do something like this. You could actually do the very small, like quarter pint canning, mason jars. You can do some old, little tins that you might have just like this lying around your house. Just use something that is actually going to work for you and your family. And then you just let it cool. You don't have to put it in the fridge. I just let it cool. I mean, if you wanted to, you could. There you go. And that's it. So I'll let these cool, come to room temp. They will solidify and harden, and then they'll be ready to use. You just made your own first aid salve. Wasn't that easy? Really, it is. And they're already starting to harden a little bit. You can kind of see a little bit. It doesn't take too much time, but I'll let those kind of sit for probably about a day. And then I'll put the lids on, and then they're ready to be used. And by the way, these are great gift ideas too, guys, especially for anyone with little children or new moms, new parents, right? So kind of think about what you can do as the holidays come up to really help other folks out, get more natural things into their life. This is the one that I made last year, right? So when I need it, whether it be the cut, the bite, the bee sting, the wound, I literally will just kind of rub my finger on it or maybe dig my nail in if I need to, and then put it on the affected area. And I'll do it as many times a day as I feel like I need it. But it does work, and it's so economical with things that you probably already have in your kitchen. You've got coconut oil, you got olive oil, you may even have a tea tree essential oil. The plantain leaf you probably need to go purchase. But that's about it. So I hope you try this. Let me know. I'm really into trying doing things as naturally as I can, even within our medicine cabinet. So if there's a recipe that you love or something that you make for your family, please share it. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay healthy, stay well. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.